like I really don't belong. I can't explain it. When I close my eyes, I see a strange reality. Am I dreaming? Or on the edge of remembering? You wake up feeling like you really don't belong. You can't explain it, but when you close your eyes you see familiarity. Are you dreaming? Or on the edge of remembering? Okay, the mic is live, we're alive, it's Sunday morning, it's a little drippy out there, but it's nice. Okay, I want this to be a little different kind of a border. Sounds like it's echoing. Must be my hearing aids. And the peculiar sound of a needle going into styrofoam. So I've come to enjoy it. It reminds me of my mother snapping gum. Something my father despised, but I adored as a child. Teach me how to do that. How do you pop your gum? Cracker gum, that was what they called it. It sounded like a... I did it a few times by accident. I studied different things than my mother did. Okay, I'm wearing that out. I detail of something. Maybe with this. Or maybe something darker. It's a completely different purple though. Well, I have to get the purples out anyway because gift number 2 is all about purple. Actually, it's all about periwinkle with accents. Now, a friend of mine, a sister friend out in Arizona, it's so hot out there, I can't understand why anybody would want to wear more wool. So I'm not making her a wearable. I'm going to make her a decoration. But this is for my friend in Tennessee, where they are right now, I guess, have had some crappy weather. So I'm making her a little stash bag. But for my friends, look at that. That is just perfect periwinkle. Oh, she's gonna love this. So we're gonna use the periwinkle as the main color this time instead of an accent color. That's the merino. This is more of a Corriedale. Although I like that Corriedale better. But it does work together. So we're going to do that. Carol loves purple. She's going to get purple. We're going to need something really cool for an accent. Oh, good morning, my darling. I am good. I am very good. I was thinking of you this week. I've been very busy. I went on a aloha. Oh my, on a blind date with 8 years ago. Oh, you fool. You still have the same number. What happened? That's so outrageous. How desperate was she? Right? I got my phone number when I had to get my first smartphone in Pennsylvania. I did not buy it. It was basically a freebie to get me so I could connect with doctors. But I kept my number when I moved to Connecticut, knowing that would confuse spammers. On Facebook. Oh. So what was her reason? I mean, we're not little kids anymore. Hey, that's how my first husband just found me after 30 years. Actually, that's how he contacted me. He found me on Fine Art America, which I would think he'd have to search for. Although it could have been an accident, you know, it's been 30 years. Anyway, he's a good guy, so I don't mind. I just don't want his wife to think, you know, I'm looking for anything from him in any way. Other than, he was my friend for 5 years before we got married, and then we got divorced. We stayed friends, until we both remarried. So, yeah, I see him as a friend. I don't see him as a husband or a potential mate. I just like shared history, It's cool. But some women, I used to be that way. I don't know what she is like. I have never met her, and I really don't know anything about her other than she did relocate from Japan for him, and he is quite immersed in the Japanese culture in some ways, which is, I think it's great. He always loved that. Go where you're inspired, man. Do I really want to do that or no? No, I don't think so. Go ahead to something else. I hope you're typing to tell us all what happened, because that's so wild. Well, that's desperate as fuck all. I got married after I went out on a date with you, and he's a bastard, and he just kicked me out. Is she in the islands? Hopefully far, far away from you, island. Oh. Is she native? Hey, we all make mistakes. But it would never occur to me in a freaking million years to look up an old boyfriend, or especially somebody I just had one blind date with. That's cray cray. I would never connect with them if I had a problem. It's like, no, you don't walk backward. So did she marry a white African or a black African? Since they do have both there. As we know, Elon Musk is a freaking white African. What a wonderful world this could be. Tell me more, tell me more. So what did you say? Were you smart? Were you wise and said, please go away? I mean, obviously you can't help her anyway. You needed food this week, and you made your own miracle for that. Ah, I know you're a man of God. And did you tell her to go to her church? That's the usual response down south. You need help, you go to the church. I'm serious. That is their answer to everything is, well, you go to the church. Don't you have a church? Don't you belong to a church? Like, no. I don't belong to a church, and you shouldn't be asking me that since this is a bank and I'm opening up a checking account. You should. But they're everywhere. You are a man of God, but you are not God. At least not for her. She has to be her own God. Yes. But okay, so she's obviously desperate. And islands have limited resources, and apparently in these last 8 years of marriage, she didn't make any friends, did she? So she's looking for a blind date she had 8 years ago. Sounds like she's looking for a sucker. Or, yeah, that's a sucker. You just don't do that, okay? And I say that as someone who house hopped for 6 years because I had housing insecurity. Yes, God came to the rescue through humans, but I didn't ask any humans. They appeared as needed. That's the best way I can put it. Okay, so this is the side that I put wool over the viscose. Keep typing, sweetie. I have to keep doing. Oh, that came out exactly like I hoped right there. All right, so we are going to make that the outside, but it is a reversible pouch, so my friend just has to get out the iron and make it anything she wants. Actually, her initial is on the other side, but the darker colors. But I want to do something on this. Well, you know what? I'm going to wait. I'm going to iron it into position. She's fed up because her new husband took over her home. Yep. Well, she let it happen, didn't she? Listen, I don't want to sound unsympathetic. How long did you end up being on the phone with this crazy lady? And obviously she has to be desperate as hell to be calling someone she hasn't seen or heard from in 8 years. Well, she can afford a phone. That's good. And what are you supposed to do? Come across the island and find her with no car? She has Facebook. 19 minutes, yeah. You got off in a good amount of time. Good for you. So she doesn't have any hope of calling you again, does she? You left her with zero hope that you're an outlet? Please tell me you did. I'm sorry. Go with God. I am not the one that can help you. Yeah, I'd block her number. How did that first date go, by the way? You didn't mention that. Did it lead to a second? Or was the blind date the start and end? What do you mean took over her home? Call the police? Well, that's what I would do, but it would depend on take over the home. Yeah, you call the police. First thing. If there's any domestic violence, if there's any threats, you know, what right does he have to kick her out of her own home? But I don't know. Again, you know, Charlie, one of the problems here in this country is that every state has their own laws. Excuse me, over eviction, things like that. The only time there's a change is like when there was a temporary stay of evictions during COVID when everybody was locked down. You were not legally allowed to evict anybody. Yes, that's why we have over 800,000 homeless people in our country. Almost 1 million. And a lot of them are our own veterans. And they think that we want to send people off to another war. Because when they get back, if they're alive, when they get back, they get nothing. They're promised everything, and then when they're in need, they cut it out. Doc can tell you lots of stories. He's a veteran. Well, it depends on how. We don't know the circumstances. This is a crazy person who contacted him through Facebook. That doesn't even mean it's really the same person. You know, I mean, 8 years later. Here, lots of stuff happens fast because people are poor or they're afraid. And now we've got, you know, with all of the threats to brown people again, they can't even call the police when they need help because the police kill them before the police even find out who and what is going on. The police draw their guns on brown people without even thinking about it, way faster than white people. And that is a big problem and always has been, and it's just been given permission through the people like ICE. So because of that, landlords who want to be dickheads completely and evil they can throw them out, or they can just call ICE and report them even if they're not really immigrants. They just don't want them anymore. They can cause problems for them and get them out. There's a lot of evil in the world, but there's also us. And we are making headway. He separated her from family and friends after talking to her. I had asked her, what woman, she married an abusive foreigner. She married a narcissist. First thing narcissists do is separate their mate from the family. And then the minute they become displeased with that mate, they dispose of them. I was married to one. I didn't understand what I was married to. I thought he was a lot of other things, and he was those too. But yeah, I missed the big one. That's basically narcissistic behavior. That is like our president. As soon as he's done using you, you don't exist anymore. You just disappear. He wants you to disappear. He doesn't want to ever hear from you again. I mean, narcissists. I'm surprised she didn't think to use Google search herself. That's the best that you can do, Doc. That's the best you can do. Find resources like I just had to do for my sister. I looked him up and I gave him to my nephew and said, this is what your mother, my sister, needs. And she needs to get on this, and you better warn her. Do not lie. Do not lie. Do not try to play games, or she'll end up with nothing. So, we'll see. Now you're saying it. What a world. But it can be a wonderful world. And at the same time we see all this garbage going on, there is wonderful stuff going on. And it's up to each of us to make sure that keeps happening, because we are the ones that make things wonderful. It's got to come from us. There's no place else for it to come from. There is no sense in focusing on all the bad. First of all, you can't take care of all the bad. And it's not your job to take care of all the bad. Your job is to make your world, your corner, good. And because we are all cooperative components in this game of life, yes, when you are inspired to help someone, you're called upon to help someone, of course you do. When you know inside, it flows. When it's yours to help, you know it, you feel it. But when you start to go like, oh, you know it's not yours. You have to walk away. There will be another teacher along. There'll be another helper along. It's not your job. Don't try to take responsibility for the world. That's not. It is not your responsibility to care for the entire world. You have your own corner. And speaking of corners, how are you doing there with learning how to drive, Charlie? That's a positive thing. That's what I mean. You do things what you can do in your idiom, in your current reality, until you're able to attract more and better in the direction that you want it to go. Like right now, I am really happy as a person. there's things I would like to see improving in my life, but generally speaking, I'm a really enthusiastic, joyful spirit, and it's taken me a long time to get here. And a lot of that has to do with understanding what my responsibilities are to myself and to the world. We do have responsibilities to the rest of the world, like what you did. You helped where you could. She reached out in an emergency. You gave her information that'll be helpful to her. That's the best you can do, because you're not in a position to rescue her. You needed the miracle of money so you could buy food yesterday, and you got it, right? Your prayers were answered. And in return, you got to answer somebody else's prayer. Help. In a way that's way more efficient and practical than anything you personally can provide to that woman. She needs major resources, including legal, so you did a good deed. You just paid for all your food yesterday. Ah, okay. Yeah, we had, I wasn't allowed to take driving. I had to learn as an adult because I was in an academic program that did not allow for a half a semester of driving. My father wouldn't let me. He didn't want me wasting 1 minute in high school on stupid things or superfluous things. He took me out of art and put me in geometry. I really hated him then. But it all worked out for the best. I learned a lot. Yeah, you don't have to learn all in one lump. And besides, all the rules and stuff, you can study that on your own. You don't need a class, but yeah, start there like you can. And I was 21 when I learned how to drive. Just in time to have back surgery and drive my new little car, well, my new used car, in a body cast, which actually was pretty freaking funny when people saw me driving. They were so terrified of hitting me. Let me show you what I made. I've got to get up and get hot water for the next project, but check that out. I made myself a purse, and I just ordered a button, a moon-shaped button. But then I realized, you know what, I'm paying a fortune in shipping, screw this, and I found that, oh, there's like 3 places I can go to locally and buy the buttons I need. So this is going to be over the head and across the body, like that. And I need a button for the latch, right there. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, do you? Yeah, more food now being broke than I had when I had money. Isn't that funny? You prayed. Did you do it again today? Well, hopefully you'll do it. And I know you've got to do that before the exam, but we did too. So I didn't have, we had a class. I learned from a boyfriend and the manual. We'd go to the Department of Motor Vehicles, pick up our manuals, go home and study them. And then we come back, pass the test, and take a driving test. And actually, we get our driver's permit so we can practice on the road. You like the vine? I made a vine for the... I thought this was very clever. That was a lot of work. Wet and needle felting. And now I've got a purse that nobody on the planet has. And I really like that. Okay, I have to get these stuff. If no, I need hot water. Oh, that is so beautiful. This is something called viscose. It's like this ethereal fiber that's made from bamboo. And it makes the softest clothes when it's turned into threads and woven. It does not felt, wet felt. You have to put wool over it, but it makes the most beautiful patterns. It's sparkly. And this is going to go with these. I believe I have one more order on the way from Living Felt. That nice chili is the name of that color. This is so funny the way they stuff this in the bag. Corriedale is a much heavier. It's very soft. I mean, there's coarser, but it's a heavier wool, good for outerwear. But my favorite is the superfine merino, which is for innerwear. It goes against the skin, and it has a beautiful drape. And that's more Corriedale. Okay. They're very different when you use them. You have to be aware of that. So I'm learning about it. I started learning it by accident, by ordering Corriedale, not realizing how different it is from the merino. Let me see, what'd you say? Okay. Hold on. Oh, you haven't finished your email? Come on, man. Make it a priority. No, you make 2 letters or 2 paragraphs. You change paragraphs, you change the subject, and you go on. But don't bore him. I mean, how much do you want the man to read when he sits down? He's got other shit going on. There's a stranger when I was going to text you. All right, and I bought 80 words. I won't tell your mom. Ah, see, there you go. And what does that mean, Maui? Are you starting to see your power? The way vibrations match and attract when they hit a resonance? It's really what it's about, right? Resonance. That's why we say you have to have a high vibe. You have to rise to get the good stuff. When you get all down and bummed, you're pushing the good stuff away. Like literally. Oh yes, let's get the towels down first. And today is going to be a laundry day because I've been making a lot more towels full of soap. I've got so much soap in these towels now, I probably don't even have to add any to the washer. Just have to go through 2 rinse cycles to get everything out. She called you as you were thinking, yeah. Yes, it's been a very happening week, apparently for Charlie as well. And I can't get my phone to just stand up. I have to go get my little bowl of water. Give me a moment while I gather the missing material. I needed the water to be very warm, so I couldn't like bring it, oops, sorry about that. I couldn't bring it to the table first thing. Let there be light. Hot water, hot water, can you hot water and soap? a second. This could be killer. What size? Yeah, it shrinks. I'm making a vessel for my friend in Arizona. I'll cut another one. Okay. Wait. Duct tape, you think so? Some days, yeah. Some places, definitely. Although, I don't know if we could do any better. But the person with the duct tape has power, right? I have 2 rolls of duct tape now. One of them was an accident. I thought I was out, and I actually just put it in a different place than usual, so I didn't have it. Well, that's got a hole in it. I'll have to patch it. Or just use this side. We do not want holes in it, because if we have holes in it, the wool will transfer through it, and it will no longer be serving its purpose as a resist. Over there. Thank you. I'll vote purple. Purple at least is a spiritual color, and orange is all about sex. Oddly enough. Second chakra, right? I like purple. Purple suggests cooperation. Oh no, what color is social, democratic socialist like Mayor Mamdani? Some multi-billionaires are going to have to finally pay some taxes on their second homes in New York. The governor got on board with that, even though she would not get on board with a wealth tax on everybody making over a certain amount of money a year. Come on, if you're making $1 billion a year, WTF, man? Why aren't you paying taxes? Why aren't you supporting? Oh, I do philanthropy. No, philanthropy means you decide where you think the people deserve the money, and maybe you have a little bit of the wrong influences when you come to decide who gets what. Where when you invest in the United States, or you invest in your country by paying taxes, taxes are your investment in your country, you're supporting everybody. You're supporting the whole country. So screw your philanthropy. Give to everybody. Raise the living wages. Treat people fairly. And stop whining about how you're a multi-billionaire and you have to pay more taxes and you hate it. Fuck you. Oh, sorry, it's Sunday. Screw you. Anyway. Oh, that goes in too much. I want something a little unusual, but I guess it can't be too unusual. It's got to be stable. Now, the next thing I'm learning is how to harden your fabric. Like, harden it to the point where you hit it and it sounds like you're hitting a piece of ceramic. Like, I didn't know that was even desirable. I guess because my mindset is about, well, making wearable art. So some things just don't cross my mind. Yes, but the problem is that's because the government keeps giving, the dirty government keeps giving these people breaks at our expense. Because when they give them a break and they have to pay less taxes, the money to run the country still has to come from somewhere. It comes from us. It comes from the poor people. And then they say, well, we're giving them these discounts, we're giving these bargains, we're giving them billions so they can develop AI and spy on you, and we're paying for that out of your tax money. And you have no say in it. And that's what's happening right now. So we have a lot of bad stuff going on. They're getting what they want, and they're saying, well, we can't afford, because we take the money, we can't afford anymore to pay for Medicare or Medicaid or Social Security. Well, Social Security, we put the money in, but there's SSI, and that is a supplement. That's not from what we've earned. So the party right now destroying America, we know who that is, does not understand yet how angry Americans are getting and how sick of the system we are. And if, you know the irony, if this had not happened, things would just be business as usual. I mean, seriously, they could have put up all kinds of stuff without us being aware of it. And because people weren't looking at government so closely, and now we have to have the microscope out because they're pulling shit on every angle. So it is getting to the point where people were saying, no, we don't want anything progressive. We want conservative. Go back into the 1800s and the 1700s even. As long as men have power and women don't. That's been their push, and it doesn't work. You know, 51% of the population is women. 51%. You'd think we would have more power. But this comes from people just doing automatic voting. They're not paying attention to what they're voting for. They just go by party. I've always done it this way. And there you got it. I've always done it this way. I don't know how to do it any different. I don't want to have to think. I don't have to look anything up. It requires work on my part. I just want a big daddy to take care of everything. That comes from people being taught to look to the big daddy in the sky. Then they had to add, because people were just sitting around waiting for shit to happen. No, God helps those who help themselves. Like, yeah, well, tell them how to help themselves and stop taking all their money. That would help right there. Stop taking everybody's money. Look at that beautiful color. Oh. Okay, this is Corriedale. That's a type of yarn. It's springy, it's got good memory, it's a little coarse, it feels very soft. I mean, you'd say, oh, that's really soft. And it is. But as it felts and gets more dense, you can feel more of like, oh, I don't want that rubbing against my bare skin. Whereas the merino wool, yes, you do. It is nice against bare skin. I really like bare skin. Sorry, I got carried away by a musical memory there. From an old musical called On the Town, Ann Miller does one of my favorite comedy dance routines. What's the name of that song? Primitive Man? I think it's Primitive Man. Gene Kelly, Frank Sinatra. And the original Mrs. Kravitz as a young woman. Gene Kelly liked her so much, she insisted that she be in that role. I guess she was on Broadway doing it, and then we put her in the movie On the Town. Yes, exactly, exactly. Well, they're paid, and we can't shut them up because they're on cable. Only way to shut them up is by canceling cable. Although I think, because, you know, I don't see why people have to give up everything, I would be calling the cable company and saying, I want a package that does not include these far-right stations. And if they say no, then you cancel. But if enough people step up and say, we don't want this misinformation anymore, because they're not regulated. The FCC has no say over them. So like, even though they're designated as entertainment, they keep calling themselves news. They're not news. They're nothing but entertainers that get paid multiple millions a year to lie to the public to represent the Murdoch family's personal interests, which is keep controversy going, keep people riled up, keep people angry. It's not just fear-mongering. There's another word for it now, I think, because it's so bad. What is it, Charlie? When rage, it's the rage machine or something like that. They have to keep the rage going, and their biggest fear is if people stop being afraid. Because if you stop being afraid, you stop listening to them, and you stop listening to them, they're out of business. The Murdoch family was basically booted out of Australia and then booted out of England as much as they could. And as they said, when they got busted for almost $1 billion damages for lying about the election, they wanted to know in court what party. You know, you're obviously supporting the Republican Party. It's not a party. He's supporting, his party is green money. He doesn't care who wins as long as the whole thing creates a hullabaloo that makes people tune in to have people vent their spleen out loud or whatever. I don't know. I think it's just freaking insane. They sit there and listen to those people. They are the dumbest people, nastiest, most racist, sexist assholes I've ever seen on TV, and that includes the women. Except for that one, their token liberal. She's pretty smart, and she really works hard to keep her shit together. And that's where they think that's fair and balanced. They have one woman who speaks up at the truth, and the rest of them, have to override her. All right, I think we're going to go double layers with the periwinkle. It's her favorite color. She painted her living room in it. I think that's a good indication that this is a good choice. I just saw a blurb, or I don't know, I guess a tweet. I don't follow the tweets, but and I certainly don't follow Hannity. But Hannity came out and said he was a Catholic, but he's giving up the Catholicism because the Pope isn't for the war. Like, what? I don't know what kind of Catholic you were, but good riddance. Because anybody who's a practicing Catholic is not going to be agreeing with anything on Fox. You can't be a practicer of an actual religion and still, unless you're part of the hate crowd. And that's evangelism nowadays. We're going to get you riled up to hate the same people we hate. Because without that hate and fear, you don't give us any money. Yeah, you told me you were. Is it still on? I remember you mentioning that a while back. So I don't watch anything like that. I don't have. There's enough reality, and in reality, I don't want to look at reality. I want to make a new one. So I cannot watch all that stuff. It just fills my head with things that are more likely to be anxiety-inducing. Or it's that kind of shit that actually is more like rage-inducing for me. Because my question is always, why are they making this? Why are they putting this into the mainstream where impressionable people and people with no brains can find themselves attracted to it and all that? It's just not a healthy situation. You gotta remember the subconscious mind. I cannot talk about that enough for people to understand that it is what you don't see up front. It's the hidden programs. They are being created by what you're looking at. It can't tell the difference. It cannot tell the difference. Your waking mind knows, but your unconscious cannot tell the difference between a TV show and a traffic accident you witnessed firsthand. It doesn't know the difference. It becomes reality to the unconscious mind. So that is not a good thing. It's not good programming. If you're watching things that bring you down or stimulate the wrong chemistry, these things are not good for our physical and mental health. Now, I learned about this a long time ago by accident because I wanted to see television because I grew up with television, and I couldn't, and I missed it. And I went a long time without watching TV or seeing commercials. And then I started doing these parties where I was part of the entertainment. And during my breaks, we'd sat in front of the TV, and that's how I learned about Kung Fu. This was in the 70s. And Monterey Pops and all kinds of stuff. It was great because there was TV. But then I started seeing the commercials. And then I started seeing what my father had been talking about, and I didn't understand as a kid, the programming. The programming, not of the TV, but what the programming is doing to us, programming our brains, our reactions. And that's why people who watch Fox are so riled up and so easily triggered. They have gotten used to being aghast and angry and making fun of people. They're rude, they're nasty, and they're popular because they're always out there. They got all those ads all the time. I'm going to block everything Fox now on YouTube. Seriously, because I don't want to see everything but the weather. Occasionally, local channels that have the weather. I don't block them. But aside from that, I don't want to hear anything from Fox. I don't see why I should give them my eyeballs. Like when we got, every time you get a Windows update, you also get things that you turned off and get turned back on. And everybody is cooperating with the owner of this station, not to our benefit, but to theirs, what they're making money on, what they're dealing in. And yeah, we don't own the platform, it's their rules. But there's only their rules until they stop making money. If their money is interrupted, well, the money is interrupted, they start making changes, they start listening. But until then, they just think they're immune to, or too big to be affected by popular opinion. My ideal world is very much numerous. Where they even let themselves get conquered for a while. And the conquerors became their own undoing. But they just went about their business. It's like, nope, I'm not getting involved. They never had a military, and they never had a religion. Isn't that funny? And they believe in libraries big time. We have the ability to create an Amaris on Earth. Basically a paradise. We have the resources to do that. We could do that for the entire planet. We could feed the entire planet if we were not so busy trying to own the entire planet. Yes, of course. That's why the current guy in charge does nothing but that. Distract, distract. Lie. Alright, I have to decide on the decorations now. All the bases in. She said purple is her favorite color. The bulk of it is periwinkle. It's pretty fun making a periwinkle vessel. But I want this to look fun. Now this is just the first side. I have to flip it over. We're going to do the other side because it's going to be hollow. I am going to go get something for embellishment. We need the master bag. The heavy master bag. It's getting so big. I am going to have to divide this up soon into color groups because I don't want all this stuff getting jumbled. Now we could go with something wild, but I don't feel it. Oh, that is so pretty, but not for that. Let's throw a few of these on. Just separate those. No, we're gonna keep this for more like a bohemian thing. No, that won't work. I think we'll go with that. Yeah, this is unwieldy. I think when I get the new bags in, which are the small ones, I'll break it up, and then this is going to probably hold a blanket for storage. That's a great use for these. Yeah, Mr. Gary will be here later. He has to work for another 15 minutes, I think. But you got close to good. You got the help you needed yesterday. Your subconscious mind remembered where you had emergency money that you could juggle. All good. All good things. It's going to have to go around the other side, isn't it? We'll just stick it under there for now. I still have to wet everything down. You have to anchor the wispies or they will not stick because it's synthetic and it doesn't felt. Well, I can get it to stay with the needle, but then it distorts it. And we're trying to not have so much of that. Okay, now for the squashy part. Let's get the net number 1. Hey. And here we go. Make some sounds, rude sounds. Whoops. I guess I better stick that thing back in. I squashed too much. All right. Oh yeah, I'm right-handed. There we go. And we need a second piece. I'll cut a piece. I should have covered this before I started, but I'm so used to having so much bubble wrap around. I forgot that I recycled a bunch yesterday. So we had an extra couple of inches. Alright, before I put that on, I have to get the other layers on. Come here, periwinkle. Yes, I have a trash can right there. do not want too much down there. You already have it folded over and it's quite thick. Well, Maui, you got up quite early. I'm assuming there was a little Cyrus involved. Young cats. Now, the cool thing about Corriedale, because it is such a happy to link up kind of a fiber, It works up quickly, and you get a lot of texture as it felts, which is, of course, what I'm hoping for. This one. Okay, we're gonna have to just kind of mess with this for a few minutes. Yes, your trade can't be. Stream go bad for you. Where go? Oh no, I'm still alive, right? Oh, good. Cyrus is good. He's fighting for the rights of the peoples to keep him in treats as long as he wants. Go dry, thank you. Look at that, it almost worked. Come here, you. I want you to look like you meat. Okie dokie, now we need the towel. Getting messy. What happened to that? Come back here. Okay, now you go dry. They do. Right. We want his dry hands before touching wool. For some reason, my chat keeps going right back to the very beginning when Charlie came in and said hello. YouTube has been screwballing me all morning, actually, not wanting to load. Signed me out, I had to sign back in. It gave me a hard time about my PIN. I had to go another route. It's like, what the hell is this going on today? Now, I want to make this the bottom. I'm going to cut that part off. All right, we need something else for contrast. Or maybe we do need some green. Or maybe this. No, she likes all purple. But then there's no contrast. No, we need something else in here. What about we get some green? Maybe a few tiny bits of this. Yeah, you're not going to go back in that bag, are you? Luckily, I am now able to discern by feel which is merino and which is Corriedale. And I think we're going to get some black for Jarama. Is the black with my browns? Yes it is. And this is where I think I've got some black. Oh, right here. No. Not that easy. That's still good felt. Eek, stay there. You don't have to blow it all away. I'll make you next to it. I wish I had a metallic to put in there. I do have some sparkly stuff, but I don't like it on this, so we're not going to do that. I still had some of that, but no. I think on more black accent. A little more drama. It's a coffee moment. That sounds good. For me, it'll have to be tea. I had a cup of coffee this week that I'm still recovering from the acid. I guess it's been a while. I don't usually do more than 1 cup a week on Fridays, but this week I did. I was in the mood for coffee, and I don't know, maybe I didn't have enough in my stomach at the time. I was surprised. All right, so we have this peeking around here. I found the coolest buttons on Etsy. I did buy the moons, but I decided against the rest of it, except I will be buying one very special set of buttons. Apparently I had to buy 6 of Mothman. All right, so now we've got some green carry through because I really needed to put something besides purple and blue. But we do need just a little bit more purple. Wispy winds around the bowl. I will have a tea moment in a moment. Did I just hear? I'm expecting packaging. All right, we're gonna keep you for needle felting. Give me a fresh piece. tea. Aww. Yay, you can enjoy your coffee. All right, let's batten this down. Oh, it's after 1 o'clock. Now I have a corned beef in the refrigerator that needs to be cooked or frozen. I have another couple of weeks before that becomes an important decision, like it's got to be made. But I do love corned beef, and I guess this being Sunday and I need to do a load of laundry, I could get it started and then go do laundry, assuming there's room for me. And let it cook while I'm cleaning other things. Oh, there, go ahead. We need to absorb your excess water. My first vessel had dangly stuff, but I don't have any purple dangly stuff, so I don't want to add anything. We'll see how this comes out. Squeeze out the excess suds this way, right into the towel. And out. It's like whipped cream. Come on. Good thing I'm doing laundry. Let's clean off that other piece. Now some of this stuff gets worked more after we remove the resist. But for all the initial felting, you really need to keep the resist in so you don't attach both sides of your container. Now on Living Felt, which is a great channel here on YouTube, I highly recommend them to anybody who wants to learn about felting. And ditto with Sarafina Yarns, also a master class in everything. Everything Felt. Those are the two great channels here. There are lots of wonderful felters on YouTube, don't get me wrong. I mention those two specifically because of their contests, their experience, the fact that they have actual stores, you know, brick and mortar kind, and they sell yarn. They sell the materials. It's not just showing what to do or giving you a link to another place to order things from. So I like that. And everything I got from Living Felt was top notch. So when I looked up, you know, best places in America to buy American grown yarns or wools, Living Felt came up as one of the most reliable and consistent in terms of quality and product availability. So they were the ones I placed my first order with and my second. And then I got some other stuff, the Corriedale from Etsy. And they too have a brick and mortar place. And they are closer to home. So I wanted to become a customer of theirs too, because it's the closer it is to your zip code, the less the shipping is going to cost. And right now that is a major concern, since everybody is tacking on travel costs to their bills. Like, we pay more for gas, you're going to pay for the gas to get your package to you. Maui, that might be why your order was canceled, by the way, on Amazon. It isn't that they were out, it's that they wanted to add the new charges, which is what they're doing to everybody. So remember, check your shipping. I was about to place an order today just for some buttons, and it was not a big order, all told about 15 bucks. But then the total was more than 15 bucks in shipping, so I just said, nope, I will get the moons because I need them, and I don't know if anybody else will have those, but I'm going to Michael's to look for buttons, and a couple of other places around here that sell buttons. Okay, I'm starting to feel it come up away from the resist. That's a good sign. It means it is turning into fabric under my hands. I tell you, this is more relaxing than mixing dough for bread. Okay, I am getting hungry. And that's not a good sign for broadcasting. Because I'm one of those mean, hungry women. I will bite your head off like a praying mantis if I am hungry and you're near me, depriving me of food or getting between me and food. And now you know why I choose to be single. It's all that messy cleanup. Okay, so pretty soon I'm going to have to decide what the top is going to be. Right now, I was planning on making this part the top, which is why it's a little squared off. That also, that squared off is good on the bottom. And it might be cool to have the dark pattern on top. So I could cut it across there and make that nice flat. But this is thinner, so I think I'm going to make this the top. And we're going to go with this heavier bottom as the bottom. Yeah. Okay, so Think of this as a vase, a photo of a vase. It's just going to be two-dimensional until I remove the resist and start shaping it into something more sphere-like. So let's do some rolling. I need a flat side. Okay. Let's roll her on up. All right, phone, stand up. Thank you. Okay, after I finish rolling this out, I'm going to leave the resist in because I need to go eat. Now, I do also have to do laundry. I'll go downstairs, and if it's busy, I will be coming right back up here and coming back online. Otherwise, I will not be back online until probably late this afternoon to give me time to do my laundry and eat. I pretty much never finish any large project in one sitting, except the leaves. I did manage to do all those lacy leaves for the purse in one session, which I like. So guys, do you want a fortune cookie before I go? I have fortune cookies available today. So who wants one? Ooh, stormy clouds. I like that. Nobody wants a cookie? I do. I'm in the mood for a cookie today. So we're going to just roll this over here for the moment. Keep it nice and wet. Yeah, we don't need all this wetness right now. Get away. All right, give me a cookie. Cookie. Left, right, center. They're all blessed. Big cookie. They're all the same size. What can I say? Left, right, middle, T, E. I'm going to take that into the kitchen with me. Middle, right where it pointed. Oh, I forgot to break it. Wait a second, I don't see one in there. There is no fortune in this one. You bastards! Null and void. Let's get another middle one. Now which one do you want? Oh my goodness. Well, hello. We're doing cookies and then I'm going to lunch. Aww, you're a sweetheart. I miss you. But I don't want you wasting time on the internet when you have good things to do. The left cookie. Oh, that's for Carlos. Okay, Carlos. Doc chose the middle and it had no fortune in it. Okay. Take a leisurely walk this Sunday and clear your mind. What? It's Sunday. It is Sunday. And I'm serious. That's exactly what it says. It's too late to walk now. We'll do it tomorrow on a Monday. Pretend it's Sunday. And take another walk next Sunday. Okay, Doc, we're going to give you... Oops. We're going to start again with you. I got a ghost cookie. It was for your spirit. Your spirit read it. Spirit's fine with it, but it said you can have one too. Your human part. So what does the Doc human want? You're with your dog. That makes me so happy. I have to wait for it to come up. Okay, Doctor. Yeah, there's one in here. I double check first. We're not giving you another one just for your spirit. Your spirit's connected. Whoa. Anticipate a journey to new horizons and opportunities. Where are you going? I don't know if you can read it. I think everything's backwards. A journey to new horizons and maybe some new opportunities. For friendships, perhaps. For gardening advice. Did I get one for me yet? Or was I just messing around with them so much? I don't see one here, so I guess I didn't. Yeah. Always new opportunities in the garden. All right, what do I want? I want lunch before the mean girl comes out. Your next Chinese meal will bring you more cookies. Be on the alert for new opportunities. Hey, this is an opportunistic batch of cookies. I needed a cookie. All right, my darlings, it looks like I will have to have Chinese food soon because we're getting low on the cookie supply. And that's the only place I get them. Okay, I will be back probably around 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. That's bedtime for you, Charlie. So for Charlie, I will say, sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. I'll be back later on, and tomorrow you'll see me. Maybe, if you're here. Have a lovely afternoon. You will receive a package from a land shark. You're right. And then I'll have more wash to do. I'm waiting for 2 pairs of baggy pants to get here. I've been waiting a month. They were delayed, so I made an extra $5 credit, which means you got to spend $20 to use it. So, but anyway, when I get those, that's the end of my, almost the end of my shipments. I'm expecting from tomorrow. No, I'm expecting those little plastic storage things. So, aloha. Especially, oh, wait, I have to give you my signals before I go. And don't forget the number one thing: peace, joy, love, happiness. Behave. I'll see you